So I've been using SI since 2016, and I don't know if you realize that since 2016, the SI program has helped over 24,000 students at BMCC, which is just amazing. And the way I fell into it will tell you a lot about yourselves. I was teaching a writing course, and I noticed that after class, some of what I would call my front row students, the students who always had the answers, that some of the other students were going up to them and asking them to repeat some of the things that I'd mentioned in class. And I went to my chair and I said, you know what? It turns out that some of my students are really so helpful to my other students. Maybe we could get a program going like that. And he said, you know what? Dean Zumo already beat you to it. So that's how it was my first introduction. And the reason I keep doing it is it makes me a better teacher. It's a better conversation, and I'm learning new things. And it's always good in a classroom to have other points of view. So I've had great SIs over the years. AJ spoke like 4 languages and was a former Navy guy. Marcel was absolutely hilarious. I mean, like a stand-up guy. Chanel was the president of her school in Jamaica. Kevin, who's now a filmmaker, we nicknamed him Spielberg. Alex was renowned for his great snacks, and during a summer session, really, really important. Andrew was my honor student and just had a gift for social media. Jan is a Native American. Everybody's from someplace else. And I put Chanel in there again because after she graduated and went to Brooklyn College, she came back and worked with me. And Andre is a very compassionate person and very, very knowledgeable. And Michelle now too. So everybody brings something, their own skill set, just like you guys do, to the table. So never try to fall into what you think other people want you to be. Just be yourself. So for the faculty, the best thing I found is that having an SI allows for early intervention. Having an extra set of eyes in the classroom really, really helps. And it is this sort of waterfall of peer-to-peer learning, which is just, I would never, ever go back. Really helpful in large classes as well. And I think it frees me up a little bit to try new things. I'd say at least 15% of my time allows me to innovate in the classroom. So for student SI leaders, there's a lot of good things. You can use your talents and your personality and your individuality, and it builds your confidence, and you make some new friends. You're a part of a new club now of SI leaders. Also, it's a great resume builder. And you can say you're a paid CUNY employee because you are. And I have always given my SI leaders a letter of recommendation that they can add to their resume. And also it teaches them how to work with the boss, because basically I'm their employer. And I think it prepares the SI leaders, all you guys, for working in a team and mentoring, which will become very important in your jobs for the future. And for our students, the students that I teach, it's really important to have these subject matter experts. These are good students who've walked a mile in their shoes. They already know me. They know my quirks. They know they've excelled in the course, and they can just help out. And they're just kind of there. It's like an insurance policy. And also they enjoy meeting with students in person and on social media. The most important thing is that my SIs, and I'm sure it's true for all of you, are happy to share their stories, their advice. And the thing that you all have in common and why you're here today is that you want to help others. You guys all have the helping gene. My SIs work with students in and out of class. They're extremely flexible. One student, SI leader, was working with students on his 15-minute break at McDonald's. So we try to meet students in any way we can, not just group sessions, but one-on-one on social media, WhatsApp, to provide some constructive criticism. But it's really forging that relationship that helps. this is something very, very important. I want you guys to remember this, that acting as a SI leader, your mentorship is a transferable skill. So if I mentor my SI leader, say Kevin, then Kevin will mentor a student like Carly. Carly will mentor a peer like Kia. Kia mentors another peer. In other words, this club, this feeling of, it changes the dynamic in the classroom. It's more social, it's more interactive, it's more modern. It's just a better experience, not just for me as a teacher or for the SI leader, but for the class as a whole. And that's because of the self-respect and mentoring. I do a couple of things I'm just going to pass on to you. Every faculty member has their own way of doing this, but I always say in my class, which I teach media and writing, so we're striving for excellence. And, my SI and I try to model collaboration as well as innovation. And as Andre was saying, time management is important. I share my agenda for the day with my SI, some study tips for the week. And I have my SI keep an attendance record, not because I don't know how to do it, but it gets them right in touch with who all the students are and sees which students have missed. And so it gives us something else to talk about. I also asked my SI leader to write a log at the end of every single class, and I do as well. It's kind of like brushing your teeth. You hate to do it, but you do it. And then we're able to look back at every week and see, were we able to help this person? Oh, somebody slipped through the cracks, let's get going. But it gives us a kind of checks and balances as we go along. Again, we really go out of our way to meet students where they are. So it's email, text, phone, Google Hangout, FaceTime, IM, WhatsApp, whatever it is. If you can't meet them one way, I urge you to find one way to meet another student. I have one student who worked so many hours out of class, it was Sunday night at 10 o'clock. And that's what we tried to do. So just to you don't want to make yourself crazy, but you need to find out how to reach out to the individual students who need help, and you need to do it in real time. And then it lowers their stress, and they know that what happens after about 3 or 4 weeks, once the SI leader student relationship gets into the swing of things, then the students will start coming back to you. But you're going to have to reach out initially along with your professor. So why is this important in the short term? I found that and I've been teaching a long time, even A students can benefit from having a blueprint, somebody who's been through this class before, even the exceptional students. It's an example of survival, right? Some students just don't get it and don't get it for 6 weeks or 8 weeks. But with the help of an SI, they can successfully complete the course, and not, as I say in my class, no headaches, no stomach aches, no staying up till 3 in the morning. Call your SI before you do that, right? It just humanizes the educational process, which maybe not for you as SI leaders, but for some students, education is scary. So we're hoping to help them and even make it enjoyable. And in the long run, this is an interesting thing that I've learned. I'm going to pass along to you. So using SI leaders in my classroom has been the basis for what I call transformational learning. I think we're creating a generation of entrepreneurial learners, not entrepreneurs, but students who are literally invested in their own learning and who excel in working as individuals and as members of a team. So they know what mentoring is, so they're able to receive it, but they're also able to give it. And I think what's rewarding as a teacher is when you see the SI leaders who they cross the boundaries of language and skills, ethnicity, age, and they're able to work in teams so that you're all better prepared, not just the students in the class, but the SI leaders you'll be prepared for the employment and workforce because you know how to work in a team and you know how it feels to be mentored and you know how to mentor others. Some of the things that you'll learn, and these are really, you'll be so surprised. And that's why I have my SI leaders keep a log. By the end of the 15 weeks, you're going to have develop and practice analytical thinking and problem solving. Problem solving is just like the big one: teamwork, collaboration, and diverse thinking. And you'll just kind of have a respect for your fellow humans. It's kind of a state of grace to teach somebody, and to work with somebody and to help them. And so with the advent of the SI program here at BMCC, we found an incredible way to foster entrepreneurial learners at scale. So we're helping prepare you, a lot of students, both as SI leaders and our students, for learning in the 21st century. Now, you might not know this. So we have SI leaders and the SI program at BMCC, but it's also across CUNY. And soon we're going to have this website, as Dean Zumo mentioned. And we're all part of a unique SI club. It's not just locally and statewide, nationally, but globally. So the SI movement goes throughout Europe, Scandinavia, Australia, Canada, South Africa, and it was started by a 22-year-old grad student in Kansas City, but it just has something has stuck, so I hope that you'll find it as rewarding as I think my SI leaders have, because we're all part of this unbreakable chain of learning, which for many of you, begins this semester. And I love, this is by Monica Ramos from the New York Times, and it just shows us that we're all kind of trying to extend a helping hand.